Hello!
Hello!
Hello! Oh, Joey, please don't shout. Ed, what are you doing? Aw. Sorry, I love how we're opening it up. Is that welcome to Happy Place Live, everybody? Good to be here. Thanks for being here on this Tuesday. Michelle might join us later. As you most likely know, joining us, it's the regulars here tonight. Michelle's very far along in the pregnancy, and so she's taking a nap right now because I don't blame her.
That's fair.
Guys, we are close. We are close to baby arriving. Isn't that wild?
I just moved.
What
That is. Has. It hasn't even.
What's the date today? What are we at?
It's the 7th. It's the 7th. So
so
that means.
24th was the day.
Minus. Ed, what are you doing?
Ed, what are you doing, Ed? We weren't supposed to say that.
No, he specifically said Joey. So, Ed you're the greatest.
Thank you so much, Ed. We really appreciate it. Man, now I have to get Michelle up here, but I can't wake her up from that nap.
I know, even though he strictly forbade it, at this point, his name has to be Buster Edward.
Ed has super chatted his way to the middle name. Well, thank you, Ed. Again, I can't tell you how much we appreciate it every week. We really do. And obviously this gift, incredibly, incredibly generous. So thank you. Do not wake up your... Well, thank you so much. I can honestly tell you guys, thank you guys. Thank you from me and from Michelle and from baby Buster to the Explorers. And
he almost did it.
Could you imagine? She'd kill me. She would kill me if I would ruin it while she wasn't here.
Believe it or not, in that moment, I was more worried than I was excited. For that reason.
We took, first of all, hope everybody had a great 4th of July. It was a nice, I know it was a little different than normal, but Jordan, I know
Wait. Before you even get started, we have to highlight something special that happened. Jason made it on time tonight.
Hey! Jason!
Isn't that awesome? Woohoo! Okay. As you were.
Jenny, never wake up a baby or wife up. Yes. Buster Edward. # Buster Edward. You guys will always know. Well, yeah, what were... Oh, no, 4th of July. I was saying...
4th of July. My bad.
First of all, so happy 4th, everybody. Hopefully everybody had a good time. I know I know it was a little different. We just sort of stayed home and stuff like that, but we did... we finally took, the pre-baby photos, which was kind of nice. We were worried we weren't going to be able to do that before obviously the baby comes. God, it's so weird, man, being pregnant in a pandemic.
Right.
Because there's so much you can't do that you're used to.
There's so many
doing.
Extra rules.
Yeah, we had a virtual baby shower early on. We had, I don't even know what, there was a bunch. The pictures, obviously. I feel like it's been more challenging for Michelle because there's a lot of, stereotypical stuff that you kind of do that we're just not doing. So it is, it's been kind of interesting. Sorry, we should talk theme parks. Shouldn't we?
Well, this is what's happening right now. It's still surreal for me on this end.
The baby or theme parks?
Both. They're equal. They're equal in my mind. It's still so crazy to me that you are going to have a kid in less than a month. All I have to worry about is getting to Magic Kingdom on time this week. I can't even imagine what kind of, I guess, anxieties you're feeling, but also excitement. And I imagine the excitement is still outweighing any kinds of those nerves.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a cat, so I understand a little bit, but I've never fathered a human, so I'm living vicariously through your experience at the moment.
It's gonna be interesting. I am very excited. I'm just, I don't know. I just want I want to be more helpful to Michelle, I think. So that's good. And I'm just trying to figure out how to be helpful. Right now, like I said, fingers crossed, the big thing is making sure that we can be in the delivery room. Because I think that as cases continue to rise and things continue to, let's not lie about it, get worse than it was. I think that's a big concern. Let's see, what's going on in the chat real quick. Oh, yeah, we had okay, so good note, Ed. We did have a brush fire in Santa Clarita recently that actually started, it was the day after the 4th, so the 5th, and it started a mile away from our house, and we could see it from our house, and it's the only time they closed the freeway next to our house, and then Michelle and I were like, uh-oh, did we buy a house in the, in the wrong area? So there was a big brush fire over by us. We're okay. The fire, we got lucky. Like the fire started northwest of us, literally a mile away. So it was very close, but northwest a mile away, and it kept moving east. So we were always west of it. And then the wind died, so I think they were able to get it under control pretty quickly. But yeah, it like went from literally, we got an alert saying it was like a 5-acre brush fire, and it blew up to a 1,100-acre brush fire in 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, so
close by.
Things are wild. Jordan, I know like this is something that we talk, I know there's a lot of Californians that are explorers here, but we've always talked about it. Something that's interesting is in the Midwest, obviously, we talked about earthquakes at one time, but we do not have wildfires the same way that you guys have wildfires out here. And so when Michelle and I moved here, and I don't know, Jordan, when you were in Mexico, if it was a problem or not.
Occasionally.
Okay.
Occasionally there would be some big ones, but it wouldn't, never like you would see especially in California.
I'm just reading some of Rich's messages on the side. And thank you. I will take all of this advice into consideration. But yeah, it's very, for wildfires in the Midwest are not the same out here. It's like if there's a fire, usually they get it under control pretty quick and everyone's like, oh, but here it's like if there's a fire, it's a big deal because it moves so fast because everything's so dry. So yeah, I think we're still very on edge every time there's something like that's coming up. But anyway, we're all good up here now. That was a big tangent, wasn't it? Laura's joined us in the chat, I see over there. What else have I missed? We were talking about the mucus plug, you know that stuff. Rich, you.
New band name, I call it.
It's a good one. It sounds like an Andy Dwyer, Parks and Recreation.
Yep.
Thanks, Jenny. Hashtag Joey needs to get milk. Yes, if you remember a previous conversation. Jordan, I was watching... so Jordan did a video, it's probably going to launch sometime this week, where he went to SeaWorld and kind of rode all the roller coasters with face masks and just kind of got that whole experience. I was just watching down what he did. It's fun. I'm excited for you guys to see it. But the while I was watching it, I was thinking, I was like, man, it'd be so cool if we were there together.
True dat.
Someday.
Hashtag.
Someday.
One of these days.
Buster and the mucus plugs. Oh, God.
I hope you like our sound.
Oh, boy. Anyway, let's see. So, well, let's shift to Disney for right now, and then any questions and stuff, we can just chat the back half of the day. We don't have a lot of... Our agenda today is pretty light. So, Jordan, Disney is opening.
Disney is technically open right now.
What?
This morning they held cast member previews. So those of us who are on Twitter have been just sort of following along on Twitter and Instagram and occasional Facebooks and just seeing there's people in the parks right now. They're very lightly crowded, and there's definitely some new safety measures that have been implemented. I don't know if you've taken a
The only thing
adjustments.
The only thing I've seen so far that I thought was a little concerning was I saw a line outside of Snow White, the Snow White mine train. And
to be fair, That is the only thing I've seen.
Okay.
And I've only seen that photo pass around and around, and I've been checking all day, just reading how things are. Um, that sort of coming from my SeaWorld experience, it's the cues, it's the lines that are the most challenging part to navigate. Um, so I think that picture is concerning. I haven't seen anything else like it, but also within this same frame of mind that it's not going to be perfect all the way around. And for that 1% picture, there's 99% of other. And who knows? Maybe I'll maybe I'll go there this week and be like, yeah, I'm gonna just double up my mask here.
You're going on the 8th or the 9th?
I am going on Thursday,
Oh, snap. That's soon.
which is the 9th.
Is it wild? I mean, like, seriously, think about this. There is a scenario where we shut back down again. And all I'm saying is, you really need to enjoy it while you're there. Yeah, because God knows
Right.
how long.
It's weird because I'm trying to think. It's been over like 100 days, and we don't ever really go over that area. So I haven't even been on property or anything like that, or even close to the property for months. And I'm wondering how it's going to feel, I guess. I guarantee I'm not going to be one of those people who are crying on Main Street when I see the castle. But I think it's going to be a surreal feeling, more so in the fact that it's just going to be like, okay, I'm back.
Watch you
Now
cry
let's do
the
it.
second you step into Country Bear.
know.
The
I know.
second, yeah.
Now that I've verbally said it aloud, it's just going to be me sobbing at the Emporium for the first hour and a half of park operating.
A few things over in the chat. First of all, Jenny's saying no stretching room at Haunted Mansion. Is that true?
Oh, I didn't see that.
We'll have to send. We'll have to get. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. We could probably Google it really quick. But you're going to be there in a couple days. You'll have to.
I'll report
Document
back.
that bad boy. I'm going to be so disappointed if you don't go on Haunted Mansion. I'm going to be so disappointed. I will be personally offended.
I've literally been following the wait times all day. Splash Mountain has like hovered between like 15 and 35 minutes. Space Mountain, no, not Space Mountain. Big Thunder Mountain had like a 15-20 minute hovering. Otherwise, everything else was like 5 minutes. Animal Kingdom had a cast member preview today too, and all of Pandora was 5 minute walk every time I looked at it. So, like, I don't want to commit to it, but I think it's very much in the realm of possibility to do everything. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I have the stamina to do that, but it seems like it could be possible.
Start training right now. You got a day and a half to get ready.
How do you train for?
Just walk it. Walk in place for. Give yourself walk in place for 10 hours, and you'll be ready.
Okay, yeah.
David says live stream Thursday.
It's in the cards for sure.
It's possible. Don't stress yourself to get that in there. I'd rather
if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
I'm not going to commit to anything.
Because I feel like the chances of our maybe like you're there and you're like, this is crazy. I gotta like show everybody. But otherwise, I would say just focus on enjoying yourself.
Well, we live stream from SeaWorld. I'm like, okay, we'll live stream. We'll do it. We'll take 5 minutes just to say, hey, we're here. And that ended up being like 45 minutes.
Yeah, we did for like an hour.
It was, once you get started, can't stop.
Oh. Ed asks, how far away are you from property? You said about 30 minutes?
About 30 minutes with traffic. If I get up early to go to a ride opening, I can get there in 15 minutes with no traffic. So that's what I
Man, it's got to be nice. Got to be nice to be that
Yeah.
close. Javier wants the 24-hour live stream. Jenny says, Jordan, if you need help, you can take her in.
Deal.
I'm excited for you, man. It's going to be wild. What's going to be the first ride you're going to do?
I've tried thinking about it, and it's like I literally have no idea. Firstly, because, and I don't think this will be this way on Thursday, but today, as far as I'm aware, Country Bears was not operating. At least during the morning it wasn't. So I don't know if it kicked on later in the day, but that could be potentially heartbreaking. And in my mind, that might be a first thing. But I don't know. I think I'm just going to try to savor being in the park. And it's like I'm not going to, especially with how crowded it's going to be, or how not crowded it's going to be, I'll have the opportunity or have the ability to be like extremely leisure about everything and still be able to get on everything that I want to. I won't have to prioritize anything just because at this time the crowd levels are going to be so low.
You hope, right?
Potentially.
Yeah, I was like, because is there a chance? I was thinking about that today. So today it was just employee previews today, right? Cast member previews.
Right.
Okay. So what if that number was much lower than the?
And that's definitely possible. And if like SeaWorld is any indication, SeaWorld has way less offerings. They have like 6 main attractions. So it's compare it to Magic Kingdom would be foolish. But SeaWorld, for the most part, was like around hour-long waits.
For every ride?
For almost every ride. It was around that.
How long was the Penguin ride?
The Penguin ride was not in operation.
At all?
At all. You just walk right into the exhibit.
That's a trackless ride, right? It's like Mickey and Minnie's.
It is.
Wow.
It's that almost seems offensive what you just said.
What? I mean the Penguin ride and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway are one and the same. It's basically the same ride.
Like that took my breath away.
Oh, Amy says your hat's backwards.
Hey, baseball is back.
It is back.
We're repping the Brew Crew right now. I saw Joey came online and he had the Brewers hat on, and it's like, I think I have one of those. And I do. I just had to turn it around.
How wild it is. So when we grew up, like this was the main logo. And they only recently switched back to the ball and the MB logo, like the glove.
This is technically the old logo.
I know, that's what I mean.
The refreshed one is a little sharper.
And that was always, the one is on your hat right now is always my favorite growing up, because I was like, oh, it's so cool. And then they brought it back, and now that's the official logo this year.
Did you?
But now all of a sudden I'm nostalgic for this logo.
They're all great logos, except the MB one that was like late 90s.
Jason's back, just in case you're wondering.
Okay, good. Welcome back. Welcome
Jason.
back.
It's good to have you back.
How long did it take you before you knew the significance of the logo?
Did you see Rich just said, go San Francisco Giants?
That's interesting.
Well, it probably makes sense.
There are people in those stadiums.
It is a reason why I can't be, even though we live in LA, I can't be a Dodgers fan, because we have a lot of Giants fans as explorers, and it just, you can't have an allegiance one way or the other. Go Cubs! I guess I should have guessed. Jason, did you see that the Brewers are opening the opening day, or the opening game is going to be against the Cubs at Wrigley?
Explorers versus Jason.
Oh man,
July 23rd.
We'll go live.
Oh, it's on. Yeah, we'll live stream.
Actually, hold on. It's July 24th, and no, we won't, because I might be. That's the baby's due date.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is July 24th.
Oh boy.
Baseball games start July 23rd. We're getting off track.
We are. This is what happens. Michelle's not here.
But how old were you when you discovered that the MB was hidden in there?
One of my friends had to explain to me in college, and my mind was blown.
That was around the age I was.
Yeah.
It's serious. For those that don't know, the baseball glove is actually an M and a B for
It's-
Milwaukee Brewers. And
It's sports' greatest logo.
it is.
Change my mind. It is
Impossible.
sports' greatest logo. What Ed said, guys, I was actually a huge fan of the Brewers the one year they made it to the series in 1982. I played for the Brewers in Little League for 3 years? What?
Hey, well.
I love it. Let's see what's going on otherwise. July 24th, my parents' anniversary, 1955 in Anaheim. Awesome.
That would be the place to be. Laura's parents getting married, Disneyland freshly open.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's like quite the year.
Yeah. Quite the month. I mean, I won't deny it, but have faith in your home team. Okay.
Sorry.
Disney. we've gone off the rails a little bit. And we're not even going to acknowledge Jason's last comment with.
Jason. Tyler says, I played for the Braves during Little League. This is a whole baseball live chat now.
The Milwaukee Braves.
Oh,
probably.
Snap. That's right. Okay, hold on.
Let's regroup.
They said, Laura says that they couldn't landscape their new house. Walt took all the plants, flowers, and trees.
That is the best reason to not have to landscape. And notice how I worded that, to not have to landscape. Walt Disney eliminated the option.
Took it away from everybody?
So if that's the case, consider, let's just hypothesize that the plants that were once in Laura's yard are now occupying the Jungle Cruise.
You mean they
it's
would
almost
have
a
been.
fact.
They
Yeah,
would
they
have
would have
been.
been. They were grown. They were originally grown.
The intended plants for Laura's family's yard
I think it's all but confirmed.
ended up in Jungle Cruise. So in a little way, that means that Roman has probably walked by the same. So through a certain number of degrees, what's the Kevin Bacon thing?
6 degrees of
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. So let's start figuring out how we can do 6 degrees of Roman, whatever his last name is. How we all have at least come in contact with Roman at one point in our life.
You go first.
Well, I need Laura to write. We need the full autobiography before we can figure out where we all land.
Roman the Magnificent.
Are things getting heated over there between Dodgers and Giants?
Break it up. How many times have you watched Hamilton so far?
I've only watched it once.
You've watched
3 times?
It's long too, so that's
It's
kind of.
I was surprised. I mean, not really spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it, but some of the visuals were very different than what I was used to because I had only listened to it in the album form.
Mm-hmm.
I was sort of surprised. Like some of my favorite songs changed because visually it brought kind of new meaning.
Mm-hmm.
All of the King stuff was excellent.
Oh my gosh, he's perfect.
Yeah, I didn't realize that that's Kristoff from Frozen.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Did you know that George Washington is Moana's dad?
What? Oh, you mean in?
Not in real life.
I know. I don't know why. I thought for whatever reason, I'm like, that doesn't work out for timeline. Also, Roman St. Michael is engaged to his new girlfriend. He now lives in Anaheim with flowers and trees. It's beautiful.
Post papacy Roman settling down in Anaheim.
Jenny just hoping hockey starts this year, which I don't know if that's a. Didn't they completely cancel it? I guess when did the normal hockey... I got to look at when the actual hockey season starts. Hockey's new to us because we didn't have a team in Milwaukee. So I mean, we had the Admirals, but that's a minor league. So
Yeah, that's generous.
I don't think we followed it as closely. When I got out here, though, that was the best thing because LA wise, it was the one sports team I could root for and not have any sort of like home bias. So like
Sure.
going to Kings games was awesome, but I have no idea what the season is for NHL.
NBA is coming back.
Yeah, I thought it was going to come back before baseball, but it turns out reverse.
It's
Baseball's
coming
going to
back
start
around
first.
the same time.
Yeah.
Well, technically, all the teams are here. If you don't know, the NBA season is carrying out completely at the Wide World of Sports in Disney World, just a few miles.
You can watch
The
it.
Milwaukee
I
Bucks
was gonna
could
say.
win the championship just a few miles from where I'm sitting
And you
right
can't
now.
even go because there's going to be no crowd, right?
Technically, no. I mean, officially, no.
What are games going to be like? Basketball will be easier than other ones, but it's going to be weird with no audience, like no crowd.
Yeah, it's going to take some. At this point, I'm like, give me anything, no matter what, what format you have to do it. I'm just so starved for it. But I think it's going to be very weird. I hope they like pump in crowd noise or something. I don't know how you would do it.
I don't know either. Because you can't like mess anything up. I don't know. Rich Hess, wait, how does
Just
Vegas
do it.
have a hockey team and not Milwaukee? That's a great question, Rich. I think the answer is that the Blackhawks were always too close. Chicago's very close to Milwaukee. It's only like
Does Orlando have a hockey team? I don't even know.
get on the
We don't have a
Google.
baseball team.
You have the Magic, right? NBA team.
We do have an NBA team,
Yeah.
yeah. The Orlando Magic. NHL Orlando hockey team. Do we? We have the Orlando Solar Bears. I kind of like that creative name, but that is not NHL. That is
Minor league again.
something else. The closest we have is Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh, Ed says Orlando has a Major League Soccer team.
Yes.
Blue Wanderer points out the cardboard cutout fans. So the Brewers are doing that. Were you
The
tempted
Euchre
at all?
seats.
I looked. I was like,
I wasn't tempted, but I love the idea.
yeah. Could you imagine getting a cardboard cutout of yourself in Miller Park for all the games? Just
Having it sit there.
they said occasionally they'll scan across the crowd just to see it. It's like if I ever saw myself, I'd be like, oh my god, this is amazing.
There I am. We went to a handful of Brewer games as younger people, and there were a few times we got on the Jumbotron. And seeing yourself on the Jumbotron, that is like a rite of passage.
Jordan commits is the important
That's not
part.
anything like seeing yourself on TV, but it somewhat connects.
Jordan commits to the Jumbotron. That was impressive. You stayed on for like a good 30 seconds, your dance moves.
I had them in the palm of my hand. A whole stadium sold out, standing room only. They cheered for me. They cheered for me.
Mm-hmm. They did. They were cheering for you. Oh, Jordan, have you ever been on TV?
I was on the news once as a very young child. I think I was in 5th grade. And me and my buddy at the time, we were riding our mountain bikes, and there was this like dirt pit, which to us was like awesome. It's like, oh, sweet. We can ride our bikes in the mud. There's little bumps and stuff. We can get some sick air. We're going to do that. And so as we're riding in this mud pit for probably like 15 minutes, suddenly we see a lady and an old man and a camera guy come by. And the guy calls out to us and he says, "Kids, you probably don't want to be in there because you're riding in contaminated soil." I don't know what that means. I didn't know what that means. But the fact is, I saw a news lady and a cameraman And eventually I got on the nightly news. I got on the local news that night for riding my bike in contaminated soil. I don't know. That was the news story. I don't know what it was contaminated
Well,
with.
now I'm nervous for you.
As I'm like going past over my path.
So this is the only news memory.
Shouting from it.
Did you dream this?
No, it was very real. But it's not important if it was contaminated or not. I was on
the
TV
news
on my bike with my sick moves.
Are you seeing some of this? Like, who is it? A lot of people apparently have been on TV in one form or another. Where are we at? Rich made it on Fox for the Niners played the Packers game in the championship game last year.
Nice.
I was probably pretty bummed. Javier has been on WWE wrestling multiple times.
Michelle was in Mr. 3000,
That's
which
right.
was based on the Brewers.
Yep.
True story. Filmed at Miller Park.
With Bernie Mac. She was in the stands for that. A lot of people in Milwaukee were in the stands for that. I was... we were both on an episode of America's Funniest Home Videos.
Was it funny?
No. It was at one point, and then they make you laugh so much that you're like, I can't. My face is stuck in this position now. I did not enjoy America's Funniest Home Videos. It was too much smiling. The most uncomfortable one we've ever had is both Michelle and I were on Hell's Kitchen, which was pretty awesome / horrifying. We just can't handle... I used to work in reality TV, and so I had a lot of connections, and so shows that people would do, I could occasionally get to. So I knew some of the people that worked on Hell's Kitchen, and then I was able to get on the show and eat in the dining room. But the producers will kind of come up to you and be like, "How's your meal?" And Michelle and I are so nice, but I had a very undercooked lobster. And Michelle was given the wrong dish entirely. And she's like, we're both like, yeah, it's good. They're working really hard. They're just doing really good. And meanwhile, Gordon Ramsay is in the kitchen screaming. It's go out there and apologize to them. And so the whole kitchen came out to our table and apologized to us. And both Michelle and I we're like, you guys can do it. You guys are doing such a good job. None of it made air because there was no conflict at all. So we're just because we were so nice. I felt so bad. They that show is real. For a long, I know a lot of people reality shows are fake. So one thing I can tell you with working in it is if there's ever a cash prize, if at any point in any sort of the reality shows you guys watch, if there's some sort of cash prize, it can't be faked. Because the state of California taxes that, therefore the winner can't be messed with. So all of that, no matter what, has to happen. So the producers can only tell a story after all the episodes are shot, after an episode is shot, because they can only follow drama as it goes. They can't create any drama because they can't mess with the results. Otherwise, it would be illegal because there's a compensation at some point, which I always thought was interesting because a lot of people were like, "Oh, all reality is fake."
Right.
And it's not. So, yeah. So what I will say about Hell's Kitchen is I was shocked at how real it was. Because it was much less fun being there. Because I felt like they wanted, they were working so hard. And he is so really intense. It is not amped up. He is that intense with them. It was wild.
That's crazy. Because... if you see him on Jimmy Fallon, he is the nicest. He's the nicest person out of the kitchen, but also hearing your stories from that evening, it's no, he's super. He means business in the kitchen.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, did I miss some stuff? I was rambling for so long. Ed's son was on Whose Line Is It Anyway? When Wayne Brady had his entire row follow him up on stage for a skit. That's cool. There's just so much stuff. You know that it's very, a lot of those shows that you can go to are free out here?
You just got to sort of reserve your.
Yeah, there's a website for like TV. Well, to be honest, post pandemic world, I don't know if it'll be the same thing, but previously, there's a website where you would go and they would kind of tell you what shows were filming, and you could go and reserve a seat in the audience, and then it was just free. You just showed up, and boom. But yeah, now I don't know what it's gonna be like. Oh man. Anyway, remember the time that Ed was on Tim Tracker?
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
So that's 1 degree. One Roman. Maybe. Wait, no. Let's circle back. Anyway.
Sorry, I'm just shaking. What? I don't know. What else? What else we got? So you've got a ticket. You're going to Magic Kingdom on Thursday.
So I'll be going to Magic Kingdom on Thursday, and then I will be going again on the following Wednesday, I believe.
Okay.
And then Hollywood Studios the next day, which is the day it opens up to everybody. So I'm excited to get there. And then that Saturday, we'll be going to Animal Kingdom. So the biggest, have you been following along because annual pass holders are only limited to 3 reservations at a time. This Thursday thing is a pass holder preview, so it doesn't apply to that. So technically I have 4, even though you're supposed to have 3.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't make another reservation until you use up one of those. And so I'm still over almost a week out, no, exactly a week out before I'll be able to make another reservation. And right now, almost the rest of July is booked up for all 4 parks, give or take, for annual pass holders. All the weekends are gone. If I want to go to Hollywood Studios on a weekend, I cannot do that until late September right now.
Why is it so bad?
It's because people are even though they're limited, they're still being able to fill them out. And they haven't disclosed or even hinted at like how it's being how it's like divided.
Yeah.
Because when it was opening, the people who were staying on site, resort guests, had a few days in advance that they could. And if I had to guess, I would think that's where a bulk of the days are coming from. I don't know. It's hard to navigate, and you want to. One of the best parts of being a pass holder is having the ability to say, I want to go tonight or I want to go tomorrow, and that's still not a possibility just yet. But I'm just hoping that I'll be able to go. It's like I'm hoping I can get to Epcot this month if the parks are open.
Well, I'm sure Epcot has the best chance of being available.
Yeah. Case in point.
Yeah.
Why it was the last of the 4 that I picked.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think your big one is you're going to have to make sure that you get everything done at Hollywood Studios, because that's going to be impossible to get in the near future.
Yeah.
Well, how long have they said reservations are going for?
You can get a reservation through September 2021 right now.
What?
Yes. So I don't know. I hope not. I hope that's not how long they're planning on utilizing that system, but it's available to plan ahead that far, at least to this extent.
Well,
Who knows?
I'm just trying to think of what happens when, I don't know, man. That seems crazy. Till next year.
But let's say October, November, things turn around. It's for the most part, everything sort of on the way back to normal. I don't think those reservations they just will say, we don't need those to become necessary. You no longer need a reservation.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
But I think just in case they have it planned that far out. Gosh, I hope those summer 2021 reservations are unnecessary.
Do you think that there's a scenario? Well, I wonder if people would be mad though, because if, like, let's say there's a reservation system, and it turns out the reservation system is great because there's shorter lines, and then people in the future are kind of like, well, this is great. I've got a reservation in March of 2021. I know that I'm going to go with limited capacity, and all of a sudden the park's like, nope, no more reservations are needed. Anybody can go whenever. I feel like somebody might be like, no, I had a limited capacity day in March 2021, and now you've changed that on me.
That's the thing. Everything is like so fragile still. I think nothing can or should be set in stone right now.
Yeah.
It's okay to set up safety measures, I guess, or precautions for that far in advance, but I think it's like, it's not even just reservations. Just like, think of the layout. Like, Fast Pass is completely eradicated.
Well,
It's not the right word, but it's not there.
I heard that too. So in Shanghai,
It doesn't need to be.
The case study right now is that in Shanghai Disneyland they've eliminated Fast Pass completely, but they do have Pay Max Pass.
Which I would endorse that idea fully.
Okay.
Because I think you can. I've read a handful of scientific, math-filled papers or news stories that detail why the Fast Pass is irrelevant. I don't necessarily understand it, but I believe it.
Yeah.
And the fact is, Fast Pass definitely makes the standby line shorter. Because I don't think the Fast Pass versus standby, the amount of capacity is equal. Like, they will definitely give more Fast Pass per hour than what a standby could fill.
Yeah.
I'm speaking English, I promise. I don't know if it's coming out.
Oh boy. I don't know, man. The reality is, I don't think California parks are going to open. Originally I said like July 31st seemed like a good day, but Newsom still hasn't said anything. California governor hasn't said anything about what the plans are yet. Disney has only officially sent out an email today, I think I got it, saying officially that they aren't reopening on the 17th, and that they need more time, and that no date is set in stone right now. But I did hear that the resorts are now taking reservations starting August 1st.
And isn't Downtown Disney opening this week as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a good precursor. A month or two before Shanghai opened, their Disney Town opened.
Well, you know what though? So our restaurants are closed inside though. You can't eat inside for 3 weeks. That got shut down. So Downtown Disney had to modify their plans, so now the only places that you can eat are any sort of venue that has an outside eating space, which I think Disney set up so a lot of them can have outdoor eating areas right now, which is fine. But that does tell me that it's still not ready. Like, we're at least 3 weeks out from a date where Disney would say a new date, you know? We're not going to know. I can't imagine it'll be next week that we'll hear Disneyland's going to open on August 1st. We're probably going to... I don't know, man. It's so weird. It's all so weird. At this point, it's like mid-August is probably a safe bet. Maybe September.
Yeah.
It depends, too, right? Because California is
so weird because
skyrocketing.
You know where else that's happening?
Well, I know! It's a tale of two cities because it doesn't make any sense. Florida has just as bad, if not worse, case increases as California, and one state is like going back into lockdown while the other one is like, come at us, COVID. What are they doing?
This is probably not the right opinion to have, but if there is a pandemic in the same way there is a hurricane or something else happening, Disney is a more or less kind of a place that I would want to be. I think
But a pandemic?
I see. It's like it's so hard because first off, SeaWorld, Universal, they've been open for like a month, almost two
Yeah.
now. And I'm not saying that that hasn't contributed to the growing statistics or whatever, but from what I hear, for the most, especially at Universal, people feel. uh, I don't know if this is the common thread, but I've definitely heard that people feel okay,
Oh, you're cutting out, man.
like everything is perfect. But for the most, this is conspiracy. Everything is fine. Everything.
First of all, in
Anyway.
the comments, real quick, agree with Ed and Rich. Everyone just needs to wear a mask, and we can go ahead and have our nice things back. You can go back
So-
outside, and we can go into stores. So please do your part in that sense. Obviously, I'm not here to preach at you. That's not why you come here. But I'm going to keep wearing my mask. Doran's going to keep wearing his mask. And we're going to do the best we can. HPS masks on the masks. Hashtag don't kick her. Hashtag may have a gun. I forgot about the may have a gun hashtag.
That's like the best like bandwagon kind of thing because you don't see that on a face mask and not ask what HPX is. Excuse me. Okay, don't kick her. I may have a gun. What is this Happy Place Explorers you're talking about?
Is it the best first impression, though? I don't know if it's the best first impression. Hi,
It-
John.
It is the least kind of inviting thing.
Also, thank you, Jenny. That is the goal, to be in the delivery room. And, yeah. I don't know. And there was always the hashtag Safe Halloween, which we did not manage to do. You know what's weird, though? And I know we talk about it every week, but Universal Studios Hollywood, construction continues on those mazes.
I think it's happening.
I think so, too.
I think it's smart. I think it's smart that they are pushing forward. It doesn't make any financial sense for any kind of theme park project to be continuing right now, but that is the kind of thing that's going to pay off when things are fully ready or fully opening.
Well, I wonder if they know that, right? Because Horror Nights is such a huge thing for them. Like, I mean, I bet you if we broke down Universal Studios' annual income or whatever, Horror Nights is their biggest festival easily.
Yeah.
It probably just rakes it in. And so I wonder if that is it. It's kind of like it's kind of throwing a Hail Mary because you know it's the best way to recoup a lot of losses by having it. And so even if it doesn't happen, then, you know, whatever, you lost the cost of construction of the mazes. But if it does happen, you gain back all that tenfold. I doubt the mazes cost as much as the event makes, or even close to. So you're right, maybe it is worth it.
And it's like, it just might be the most interesting Halloween Horror Nights this year because they'll be socially distant. You'll have to go, like we had discussed, you'll go in one at a time, and there may or may not be 1 to 2 to 10 people in various places.
There's just no way. Okay, so I know you've never been to a Horror Nights before, have you?
And I don't plan to correct that anytime soon.
The lines are crazy. It's nuts. And that was when we were, like, close. I can't imagine that they're going to be able to crowd control that group of people.
True.
And you can drink in, well, I guess you can drink in Hollywood now, too. It used to be a dry event. But you can drink at both of them. So, like, that's just going to make it more rowdy.
That's the mask loophole, also.
Oh.
You don't wear a mask if you are
Eating
drinking a
and drinking.
beverage.
This is such a bad idea all of a sudden.
It's going to be the scariest Halloween Horror Nights ever.
I read something interesting. So, you know, in Orlando, it's their 30th anniversary this year of doing it, the event. And somebody pointed out if they did cancel it, if they decided to pull a plug on it, next year could still be the 30th anniversary, and they wouldn't have to, like, like dumb down the event, like make it. Well, who knows? We don't even know where we're going to be next year.
Don't plan that far.
Yeah.
If 2020 has taught us anything. No, if 2020 has taught us anything, it's that nothing can stop us now. You plan that 30th anniversary. You do it, Joey.
Ed was pointing out Mardi Gras at Universal Studios Florida makes a lot of money, which is probably true. Every video I've ever seen that they've done that has been very cool. I'm excited for you to go to Universal Studios someday, Jordan.
One of these days, it's going to happen. One of these days, it's going to happen.
That's good stuff. Well, it's 6:52. Got about 8 minutes left. If anybody has any questions, feel free to throw them over there. Also, Jordan, if there's anything you want to talk about, feel free. Javier forgot to wear his mask.
Uh-oh.
What's that? Or I forgot.
No, he forgot. He's so used to wearing the mask, it's like, doesn't even.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, Laura, I forgot to say, so earlier in the show I said Michelle is obviously very at the end of her pregnancy. We're very close now. And so she was taking a nap at the beginning of this. She's pretty wiped out today. So collectively the explorers decided it was worth not waking her up. So we are going to stick with that. But thank you for asking. She's doing well. She's just she's just at the end of the pregnancy. She's ready. She's ready for baby Buster to arrive.
Oh, I love it.
I almost said it again. Like
There was less of a pause this time. I didn't worry that time.
I had to think about it. And it says, "Do not wake up your wife." Correct.
That's good advice.
Oh, Flynn's doing great. Oh, that's a great. Yeah, that's right. The kitten update. Javier's cat, Flynn, kitten doing well. And then how's Daisy?
Daisy is sleeping right over here.
Wake her
Should
up.
I wake her up? Should I wake her up?
She's not pregnant. Wake her up.
You're not pregnant? Oh, groggy kitty.
Oh, look at you!
Look how big she's gotten just in these last few weeks.
She's huge. Remember the first time we brought her on? She was like a little
Yeah,
baby. Her
she
eyes
could
were
fit in my
hardly open.
hand.
Oh my gosh, look at her!
Isn't she so cute? Little Daisy May. Oh, no. She's not edible, even though you could eat her up.
Is she playful?
Yes.
Oh,
And she's best friends with this kitty now. Say hi to the explorers, bud.
hello.
He's shy.
He doesn't want to. Was he sleeping too?
Usually talks more, bud.
Was he sleeping too?
Yep. And now he's he's the most pliable.
He's
cat in the world.
He's a very friendly cat. Mr. Marvel asks, "Did Michelle ever order anything from Magic Candle Company?" No, she has not yet. We fully planned to do that. We did look that night, but then we looked at how back ordered everything was, and we were like, "Oh gosh." So,
I saw that they started making magic candle hand sanitizer,
really?
and it's like, don't my hands to smell
Like Pirates of the Caribbean water?
alcoholic pirates water. That's why I have a hard time with hand sanitizer. It smells so sharp.
Yeah, but that's it working. That's how you know. Ed's surprised that Ollie and Simba haven't popped in. That's correct. They have not because the door is closed. I wanted to be quiet because of Michelle sleeping downstairs.
Yeah, this is Buddy.
Hi, Buddy.
Buddy Edward.
Buddy and Daisy. Buddy Edward and Daisy May.
Yep.
Excellent. Look at how his paws
He
are
just
crossed.
officially became Buddy Edward. I don't know if my wife will okay it, but
He looks very comfortable.
it flows. I think he bears a striking resemblance. I was telling my wife this earlier today. I think he looks... Let's see if I can frame him just right. Tell me he doesn't look like Alexander Hamilton. Do it. Tell me.
I mean, kind of.
Look at that mug. Look at that mug. Did you create the financial system of America? He did. He totally did.
Aw.
Okay.
I'm excited. I'm excited for you to go to the parks, Jordan.
You're gonna hold a cat at the end of the month, and it won't be a cat. It'll be a human.
Oh, Jenny. More like Aaron Purr. Holy crap.
Yes, that's amazing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was good.
Andrew, I'm excited for you to see Hamilton. If you haven't seen it already. Well, guys, I don't really know. I mean, I know we were kind of off topic a little bit today. It was to be honest, there's not a lot of big news until Jordan goes to the parks, which is happening this week. So we'll be able to report back next week with a lot of interesting. I mean, I'm excited. You're gonna have content. Jordan's gonna have a lot of stuff to say, a lot of stuff to see. So channel's gonna start booming again. Not that it hasn't stopped. You certainly kept it going.
If you guys haven't watched the latest video, it's kind of hurting right now, but I think it's the video that we need to see.
It is my favorite.
I can't say it because it doesn't sound humble, but I mean it.
It is my favorite video that has ever been done on the channel, the most current one. It's the best video you've ever done. Easy.
See, I don't agree with that.
What?
I sung a Frozen 2 song on the Maelstrom. I made an original song. That's the best content that I've ever contributed to the channel.
Oh boy.
The Maelstrom song. Explorers now.
Do they? That video has more views than than the current one, which is such a bummer.
Definitely does. Definitely does. Which I think is only a point in my favor.
Ed, no, Jordan. And then John immediately continued. This is why the Explorers are a good, diverse group of opinions. Everyone can enjoy something. That's a good way to live life by. There's always some type of enjoyment in everything.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Even Jaws 3.
Even Jaws 3.
Even Jaws 3.
Which was filmed at SeaWorld Orlando.
That's right.
Which I knew, but I wasn't conscious of in all of my last visits. I just was reminded today. And so now I'm going to go back and see the sights and relive the great cinematic moments
of Jaws
3. 3-D.
I love it. I think it's going to be an amazing video. It'll define the channel, and then people will forever be mad at us when we don't make Jaws 3 content.
We'll just become the Jaws 3D channel. That'll be how we're known. We're just going to have to accept the property. I don't know if there's a market for that. Or, I mean, it might be an untapped market.
Ed points out, you convinced Iger to retire. That was your crowning achievement.
Immediately. And it wasn't like, hey, job well done. It's like, here's a task that I need help with. And he said, no, I'm giving it to the bald guy.
The question posed, better trilogy, Back to the Future or Karate Kid?
I haven't seen all the Karate Kids, but I don't need to. Back to the Future, for sure.
I would agree with that. Oh, look at that.
I'm trying to think of another trilogy.
Comparison? Or to put each other again?
Back to the Future or Toy Story. Now that's a quadrilogy now, so that's out. Back to the Future or
the Madagascar trilogy.
Ooh, that's tough.
You know, I never got to ride the Back to the Future ride. It's one of my great regrets. Oh, it's 7:01.
And the clock strikes 7:01 as we're perplexed on the Madagascar.
It's the great mystery
debate,
until...
which has 4, so that's not in the cards either.
The Mighty
Maybe
Ducks trilogy.
That's true. There's Men in Black. Men in Black technically had 4. Why am I blanking on trilogies?
Well, a lot of the trilogies got wrecked with more than 3.
Something fell in my kitchen. I don't know what it was.
It's a ghost.
Maybe.
Bill and Ted will have 3.
Bill and Ted will be a trilogy, yeah.
Yeah.
Star Wars is sort of separated into
3 trilogies, yep.
It's a trilogy of trilogies.
Great questions. We're I'm like, as we're sitting here, I'm like, we're really doing. You know what's interesting?
I think we need to end this live stream with an apology.
Oh, Lord of the Rings. There you go. Lord of the Rings or Back to the Future? That's a real question. Lord of the Rings or Back to the Future?
What is Lord of the Rings?
It's a trilogy.
Am I saying that right?
What?
What is that?
Oh my god. Can I mute you? I can show you.
Is that the one with the kid who's a wizard? What's his name? Jerry Porter. He's like got powers. It's like a whole like place, like a school.
What if I just rolled the ending animation right now? And we're out. John Jordan, don't do this. This is not okay, Jordan.
For the record.
Lord of the Rings or Back to the Future?
That is tough. Lord of the Rings or Back to the Future, though. I think I would still go, just because of my sensibilities, I would say Lord of the Rings is a better made trilogy, but Back to the Future is would be my personal pick.
JK, LOL. We should say goodbye, though.
It's been the most off topic.
You know what's weird, too, is, like, we can, like, see the viewers that come in, and it's the majority of people come in right around the, like, 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock mark, which is so weird, because it's, like, it's right when it's just chaos. We're not talking about anything relevant anymore.
Did we even cover relevant subjects tonight? No,
it was a mess. We apologize in advance. We kind of knew going into it. Like I said, today was going to be... Next week will be more organized because there will be things to talk about. Pending a baby doesn't arrive early, which is also a very real possibility. So...
Hey, hospitals have Wi-Fi.
Oh my god.
Most do these days.
We could actually... No. I was like, it wouldn't actually be that hard to do that. But then I was like, no, Michelle would not be a fan. We're going to go
Also, that week, if it's this next week or the week after, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of everything here. Which is probably a bigger red flag. It may be worth just not having it 1 week than me trying to do this solo.
I mean, maybe. It would be pretty interesting. I'm sure everyone would interact. You could relay information of how the baby is doing.
It's true. And by then, he'll officially be Buster. We'll show the birth certificate on the live stream.
Mm-hmm. Buster Edward. Right?
Buster Edward. Roman. Gary Edgar.
Albatross. Jordan going solo. Interesting. We aren't able to handle these as the twofer. We need Michelle to maintain it.
If Michelle was here, we would have been off on time.
Oh, we would have been out by now. We would have, when we did the fake out, she would be like, okay, she would have walked away.
That's right. She would have checked out.
Yeah.
Laura's got a point. We could just have the cats.
Just throw them up. Or I could just do this.
A recurring Happy Place character.
Yeah, you just do this, and we'll just
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Jim.
My name's Jim. We could just have him just be on camera. And then
it's not like you need to be around for him to be on.
That's what I mean. Like he can just.
What are you talking about?
You can just stand. I wonder if my microphone's freaking out.
He kind of thrives on, people being close by. Because I've noticed when it's just him and me talking, he kind of gets, like when you're not around, he kind of gets like camera shy. Like he doesn't talk at all.
He gets in the way.
He just sort of like stares at me. Which is fine. It's kind of easy to get lost in his eyes.
People can't see the live stream, Jim, if you're in the way.
Say something, Jim.
He's just in the way of the camera. It's kind of
This
is kind of rude.
He's wrecking.
You're ruining this live stream, Jim.
Come on.
Oh, okay, he's getting out.
If this is your audition, you're failing, Jim.
We should go. Oh boy.
A voiceless puppet.
Well, don't forget to hit that amazing like button. Thanks, Rick. Well earned after that Jim cameo. In all seriousness, thank you as always. Again, we appreciate it. We like hanging out with you guys. Ed, big shout out this week. Thank you again for the baby gift. I legit can't tell you how much that means. It's huge. So thank you so much. And yeah, we just like hanging out with you guys. I know it's an hour of this one was chaos, but it is always nice
to have a place where we can goof off together. It doesn't always have to be on topic.
That's true. That's a good point.
And we learned a lot about the Explorers tonight. We
did.
learned about Laura's parents' yard.
That's right.
We learned that Javier was on television on the wrestling. Was it wrestling?
Somebody
you guys
was on.
Know. I always go back and watch the live streams so I can focus on the live chats because I get distracted.
It's true. It's very hard to see all of the comments. I do that too. Go back and see everything that everyone was saying, just because it's hard to keep up with you guys sometimes. I know today there was like a whole side conversation. Something happened with Andrew. I apologize, Andrew, that we couldn't see what was going on. But I did see everyone was consoling, and I appreciate that the Explorers were coming to the rescue because we were unable to. God knows what we were talking about. Jordan and I were probably like, I really like this movie because.
Last week there was a big debate about Frozen 2 in the chat.
Really?
Yeah.
We didn't even touch on that, did we?
I don't know, but I don't remember, but it came up.
Tyball's disappointed.
There was some division in the chat.
Oh, snap. Tyball's disappointed about the no 24-hour live stream. Someday. It'll come someday.
Someday. See, when you have a kid, you'll be staying up 24 hours a day anyway, so it'll be easier.
Ed's from San Diego. Padres suck. I'll show hashtag Wisconsin goodbye. That's accurate. That's how we should end each episode. Just so everyone knows, there is a thing called the Midwestern goodbye or the Wisconsin goodbye, and it is.
And you're
this.
living it right now.
It is. You go to the door, everyone says goodbye, they give hugs, and then you start talking about what you're going to do later in the week, and then all of a sudden you start casually having a conversation about what's new around work, and then all of a sudden you open an adult beverage, and then everyone's by the door drinking an adult beverage, even though you've all decided to leave.
It's very similar as a Southern goodbye.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, we should say real goodbye. So thanks for watching. As Rick pointed out, hit the like button. We appreciate it.
Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button.
Subscribe button.
Share us with someone you think could use the positive message. Nothing can stop us now.
Aw.
Just nothing can.
Nothing can stop us now. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for watching. And,
And before we go, why don't we just open up?
Okay. Jordan, close us out.
Thank you, guys. Happy Place family for exploring with us all the places we explored tonight. And until next time, we'll see you in the happy place. Bye.